Before we get started, if you like what I'm doing here at JC Collins Racing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to head over to jccollinsracing.com to find more ways to support my racing career as well as this channel's growth. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are starting a new series looking at what is the best GT3 car in ACC. For this series, I will be driving every GT3 car in ACC and giving them their own individual video, laying down my best lap at Monza. A quick disclaimer, I am not by any means a pro in ACC when it comes to driving. So I will not be laying down the mid 140s that you see a lot online for Monza, but just bear with me. I just want to share with you all my best lap times with each of the cars on their standard settings using the aggressive setup, just to give you an idea of what to expect from each vehicle. To lay down some ground rules, each car will only have 30 liters of fuel. Each brake set will be at set number 1, and I will do slight adjustments to the ABS, traction control, and brake bias on the fly in order to lay down some consistent laps. At the end of the series, the car with the best lap time around Monza will be considered the best GT3. Well, at least the fastest, but I will give a little bit of an overview for each car in their own respective videos, giving their strengths, weaknesses, and then ultimately in the last video, I will talk about the best drivable car, at least in my experience. With that said, let's turn our attention to our first contender on the list, which is the Aston Martin V12 Vantage GT3. This Aston Martin has 8 ECU maps, which should be shown on the screen right now, 4 of which are for dry conditions, 3 are for wet conditions, and 1 is for safety car conditions. For this test, I used the default map, which is map number 1, which has the highest fuel consumption and the highest power delivery. Aesthetically, this is a beautiful car. It's always been one of my favorites that Aston Martin produced. And here in ACC, it is not short-stopping whatsoever. I love the huge extractors on the hood and just all of the different aero that's added to the car and just the overall sleekness of the vehicle. Now, a little bit about how the vehicle handles. This is not an easy car to drive. I love the way that it sounds with the V12 and just the beautiful notes as it's roaring down the straights and how it echoes off the grandstands. But truth be told, this car understeers like crazy. That could potentially be because of I set my brake bias a little too low. In this one, I set it down to 57 and it starts off, I believe, at 68. So with this car being as front heavy as it is, it probably does need to have that high brake bias in the front. So that could just be operator error, but your mileage may vary. For me, it was a bit tough to get this car to turn in and just a lot of understeer going turn in and corner exit. I even tried to adjust my driving style quite a bit to accommodate for the understeer by slowing down tremendously to get the car to rotate into the corner. And that, in all honesty, it only hurt me more than it helped me. But with all that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the hot lap that I laid down on Monza with this Aston Martin.
That lap was a 152.70, sector 3 times quick. Sector 1 time is good. meters left. Time was 152.51. Sector 3 time is fast. 1 litre remaining.
you.